Hi, baby.
Whether they're your first or your fifth, babies are always full of surprises. But 1-year-old Lachlan started throwing his first-timer and newlywed parents for loops even before he was born.
We weren't going to find out if we were having a boy or girl. And then we made the mistake of taking the envelope home from the OB office, and it lasted, what, total of
8 hours.
8 hours before we decided to open it, which actually told us that we were having a baby girl. And then what, at 34 weeks?
It was like literally 5 days after the baby shower full of pink tutus that, I think you had the regular scan.
And I was just joking around with the person that was doing it. I go, can you just make sure that she's still a girl? Because I just had this gut feeling that I was having a boy. She's like, wait, we told you were having a girl? Because you're definitely having a boy.
It was like a whirlwind ever since I got that call and kind of rushed out there to see her and beside ourselves type of thing with the news.
That whirlwind would only intensify. Lachlan's mother labored with him for 42 hours at a Troy hospital before Lachlan made his debut on Halloween. That's when a new surprise turned joy to anxiety and fear.
I really wanted to do a vaginal birth so I could hold my baby. And he was just whisked away from us right away. And the first time I got to see him was through a picture.
All of a sudden, like 7 or 8 nurses coming out of nowhere, like it was like panic stations, and just didn't know what was going on. I saw like a snapshot of Lachlan when he came out, and I could see like something on the outside of his body. I'm like, that doesn't really look normal.
Lachlan was born with bladder exstrophy, his bladder inside out and exposed on the outside of his body. Treating the rare birth defect, a 1 in 50,000 occurrence, required an immediate transfer to Children's Hospital of Michigan via the Panda 1 intensive care transport team.
And I remember after he was born, I was like, how do I tell anyone what's going on? And I just remember just texting my best friend going, I just need you to pray because I don't know what's going on right now. And it's not good. And Lachlan's not here. He's going to Children's.
The chief of pediatric urology, Dr. Lachlan, actually served a lot of time at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, so it kind of put our mind at ease that, hey, not only is it the most convenient, like location-wise, but like we're going and getting the best standard of care possible.
Before he was even 1 day old, Lachlan would undergo a complex urological surgery.
And I don't think it really crossed my mind, or I didn't really realize that much that this is the most I'm gonna hold him for in a month. I can't hold him for a month after this night. I just stayed up that entire night and just held him and looked at him and took videos of him and just literally could not stop crying because I was so scared for the next day.
It was a high-risk procedure, and the success rates depend on a lot of things coming together really correctly. We performed the first stage right away, practically when he was a day old, and we put his bladder back together in. So the first procedure has to be successful for the rest of his life to be successful, and we were able to achieve that.
Recovery from that initial surgery required Lachlan to be in traction for the first month of his life, relying on the teamwork of his parents and the hospital's dedicated care teams to get him ready to come home.
I think it was around the second week of his stay that we found our nurse and we asked her to be our primary. And I literally think about her all the time to this day. Because I don't know how I could have gotten through it without her. And I felt like she really cared for Lachlan, and she was so encouraging because I couldn't breastfeed him, because he was in traction, and she was so encouraging about pumping, and this is what's going to be so good for him. He's in the hospital, he really needs this from you.
We tried to make everything as easy as possible, so we actually were able to get them a big bed. This way we tried to have mom be able to be as close to him as possible, because when you're in a crib, you can't always be right next to the baby when they have their legs up in that position. I always try to put myself in their shoes, and being a mom myself, my heart broke for her because I just tried to imagine what she had just been through, their whole family.
When I held him for the first time, I just wanted to sing him a song that my grandma used to always sing to me. You are my sunshine, My only sunshine. All of a sudden, this song just had such deeper meaning because it says, please don't take my sunshine away. And I guess there were so many days in the hospital that I was just scared we weren't gonna go home. When she was on, we felt so safe and we felt like we were gonna have a good day.
With 2 surgeries down and a third to come a few years down the road, Angela and Matt feel like the scary surprises are behind them and their Halloween baby.
The fact that he's kind of developing on pace with everything, like he's the smiliest, happiest baby I think you could ever meet. Like, look at him, and like anyone that knows him, you would never know what trauma he's been through in the first month of his life.
We're definitely thankful to all of his doctors and his nurses, and we felt like they took care of him like he was their own.
We have good orthopedic colleagues, we have good anesthesia colleagues who are able to do the specialized procedures. We have a great hospital OR team and the NICU, and it all came together for us.
Dr. Lachlan cared so deeply, we felt like, for Lachlan, and literally came up to the NICU and checked on him every day. He gave us his personal cell phone number and checked in on us while we were still there, and that really meant a lot to us.
The most difficult time in our life was made that much easier by staying down at the Children's Hospital in Detroit. And again, if we got to make a choice over again, I would make the same decision 100 times out of 100. That was really, we felt like we got the level of attention and care that we really needed at that difficult time for our family. It gave us hope that there is actually life after this and something that we have to look forward to.